What's going on, guys? It's Jet. Back here over on some more BO3. We got some Modern Warfare 4 news. Put out a new message from the studio. It says, "We are Infinity Ward. We build visceral, immersive combat experiences that hit different." Man. As a new chapter begins for the studio, we're focused on what defines us: passion, precision, obsession, and an unrelenting drive to make the best entertainment in the industry. Our next game is a result of that mindset: determined, bold, relentless, built by a team pushing every detail, every system, every moment to its limit. On behalf of everyone at IW, we're proud of what we've been building, and we're excited to finally start sharing it with you. From Mark and Jack, studio heads at IW. I saw a lot of funny tweets connected to this as well. There's like a quote tweet that says, "Infinity Ward threatens to release new game." So again, this is exactly what, you know, Infinity Ward is known for, being bold and trying to press the envelope, at least visually and gameplay design wise. They try to reinvent the wheel. Results in a lot of really questionable decisions. One of the main complaints for Infinity Ward is that they make changes. They can be bold, they can be unique, they do push the envelope like they say they do, but it comes with a price. That price being usually the feedback to any of those systems. So like, say for example, there was a mechanic that they added to a game that a lot of people don't like, but that mechanic is a mechanic that they're super proud of. Basically, they don't really respond to criticism. They could add something that's super clunky or super unpopular, and a lot of people are like, "I really don't like this." Their reply will be, "Yeah, well, that's just kind of our vision." Kind of similar to like what happened with MW2, for example. MW19 was known and very, very popular for like all of the movement and how responsive it was overall, but it kind of like went a little crazy, right? In some cases, a lot of people like visually, it would scare people away a lot of the time. Even in third person, first person, whatever, people will see a lot of these movement clips and have pretty divisive reactions to it. So in MW2, when that came out, they decided to completely chop down all of the fluid responsiveness of that movement system, and instead they made arguably the worst feeling sprint and control feel in any Call of Duty, I would say, of all time, ever. It's not just as simple as nerfing the slide or whatever, like the overall feel, you have to play it to understand. The input was super sluggish, it just felt really bad to the point to where like it was really, really bad to use. And there's a lot of better ways to nerf some sort of mechanic in a game if you're gonna keep it there, as opposed to just making it feel bad. You can make it weaker without it feeling bad. If IW is doing something that you don't like, don't always expect it to be responded to. Sledgehammer is known for being the really responsive one, doing a lot more community feedback and community-driven stuff. They're willing to listen to the community a little bit more. Treyarch, they used to be like the really dependable classic guys, but you know, with BO6 and BO7, that whole reputation is kind of not that good. Sledgehammer's MW3 was great. And Sledgehammer, I'm the biggest fan of Sledgehammer. I prefer their games. I think they're the best multiplayer experiences overall. Might not be the most high-quality games or whatever, but they listen to feedback, and things that are broken and stuff like that are addressed. Not absolutely perfect, but way more responsive and direct with the community as opposed to Treyarch, and especially Infinity Ward. Now, the thing about Infinity Ward, if they do hit on something, they usually do it really, really well. Like, MW19 is still a game that is referenced heavily, just from the general step up and attention to detail for stuff. And then over the past few years, the attention to detail has been kind of whatever. Not just fidelity, but like down to even like the logic of how weapons function and stuff like that. Infinity Ward, when they do something well, they do it very well. On their website, I think there was a little video or whatever in the background, and it's mostly just no audio, just people talking to each other. The devs in the office talking, laughing, smiling, playing the game, whatever. Getting their stock footage of them developing the game, you know, typical stuff. And I believe in the background of that video, or maybe another one, there is a screen in the background that is blurred, but you can still kind of make out what's going on in the background. Like, you can obviously make out the obvious Call of Duty look, and you can see like an obvious like weapon there, even though you can't really make out what kind of weapon. But in that little video, you can see the person going from just regularly walking to sprinting, and also tack sprinting. And we had leaks leading up to this stuff before all the DMCAs, and even then there's still leaks anyway. Even before all the CNDs on all the leakers and stuff, like it's still, information is still being leaked. Like, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, still didn't make much difference in terms of like how the community is still getting the information. We're still getting it. Those reasons for pursuing all those other leakers and stuff, information is still gonna get out there, and their reasoning for doing so was also logically just silly to me. You can see in that video that the player is absolutely tack sprinting. You see the weapon go up and everything. Now, obviously, you can't tell like how the slide canceling is just from that little blurry clip or whatever, but you can make out the shapes doing their thing, right? So tack sprinting pretty much confirmed in that gameplay clip in the background, unless there is some sort of mode or something where it's exclusive to that, but it seems like tack sprinting is going to be in the game. So there's the leaks that corroborate this, along with that visual leak right there. So, quote leak. I'm sure they're very, very hyper aware of every single screen that was on there in the background. background, we can still safely assume that is what we're looking at. So also, I'm pretty sure it's the same leaker that gave us the tax sprint info before that clip even came out. They were saying that overall it sounded really bad. They were comparing it to like MW19 and MW2, basically like implying that it's kind of feeling shitty, and it might be the case again. But we ended up getting another leak from them saying that maybe it is actually not as bad as I was explaining it. It may be more like MW19 and MW3, which to me is great. I think MW3's movement is pretty close to the perfect middle ground. It's got its issues, it can still be improved, whatever. MW3 movement felt really simple, great, wasn't anything like broken or over the top. MW2 was the one with that crazy snaking shit, right? Like behind cover, you could keep doing this, and your character is basically like on the ground. I'm not sure if they confirmed it. Did they call it MW4 yet or not? We know the code name is like Rex or something. Okay, they confirmed that it was a Modern Warfare title, but they still didn't say MW4. We're making the definitive Modern Warfare. So basically, it's the hopes and dreams. It is hopefully the best from each and every single one of those games. Of course, it's a bunch of marketing bullshit, whatever, but if it really is their intention to go and make the definitive, you know, Modern Warfare game, to me, feels like they should be taking from the best of all things that they know. Also, the logo is all but confirmed to be that yellow/golden look that people leaked a long time ago, and people were making like their mock-ups and stuff like that, what they think it'll look like, along with being like some sort of other character. They debuted their new studio logo, which also has that yellow/gold thing in the eye of the IW. Dude, I saw that Destiny 2 is like, everyone's saying it's officially dead. I thought that shit died like a long time ago. No disrespect. I could have swore anyone and everyone that I knew that played the game actively told me years ago the game was dead. I guess they announced like some final DLC, which I mean, for Destiny players is great, but I'm seeing that shit on my time. Also, Virtua Fighter 6 gameplay got leaked, or like a deep dive or dev blog or something like that showed a bunch of gameplay. Dude, Virtua Fighter 6 looks incredible. And after hitting God of Destruction over on Tekken 8, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling pretty confident in my ability to play some Virtua Fighter. Now, I played a little bit of Virtua Fighter 5, probably no more than like, I don't know, 30 hours total, so pretty much nothing, but I have played Virtua Fighter before. I get that it is different. The game is more rigid in terms of its rule set and stuff. Still, 3D fighters, I'm in. Dead or Alive as well, who knows what that's gonna look like. Hopefully they stay just ridiculous, over the top, fuck all the balancing and just have fun, but we'll see. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Modern Warfare 4. More stuff got leaked, more official information ended up coming out, and a lot of the leaks and stuff that we got beforehand are lining up. They're all kind of supporting each other, and with the updated leak about, you know, maybe the tax sprinting isn't as bad what we initially could have thought. Question is, at the end of this, when they go and produce this game and the game comes out and we look at the gameplay and then we actually play it ourselves, is this game just gonna be like a worse copy of MW2 or a better copy of MW2, worse copy of MW3, a better copy of MW3, or is it going to truly be its own definitive thing that kind of starts the new era of Call of Duty? Because that's what Modern Warfare 2019 did, regardless of, you know, any of the bad stuff that came with it. It did reinvent a lot of stuff. I'm really curious what they could be doing different here. We can keep talking about all these different mechanics and stuff that we know right now, but if they are truly making something that we haven't played before, just like pre-Modern Warfare 2019, it might be good. My main concern is that I hope that when the game comes out, I actually like it, and I won't be upset or angry with the design decisions, because I don't really see them actually responding to the community very much when it comes to changing things that we could be complaining about. So I'm hoping that I like it at least.